Hello everyone, welcome to the QuesterMage and welcome back to another No Man's Sky video for the Nintendo Switch. In today's video, I want to talk about AI characters and how I think this could help No Man's Sky on the Nintendo Switch. So sit back, relax, click like, subscribe, and hopefully enjoy. Here we go. One of the things which I noticed when you play No Man's Sky in single player, which is the only way we can play it on the Switch, is that the Nexus has a very empty feeling to it. If you have played No Man's Sky in multiplayer, you will know that the Nexus is usually a hub of activity where you see and also trade with other players. On the Nintendo Switch, there is currently no multiplayer mode, so we can't do this, at least as of yet. So I thought, why not populate the Nexus with randomly, procedurally generated AI characters? So as the name suggests, these characters would be randomly, procedurally generated characters which would have AI to help them navigate around the world and do some basic activities. These would act like other players to mimic the online experience, just offline. As we know, No Man's Sky is the procedurally generated game. Why not use this to alleviate an issue that many have for the Nintendo Switch version of this game? These procedurally generated AI characters could give the game a sense of community that it currently lacks in single player modes. Many people like the online experience in this game so that they don't feel isolated. Of course, all of this could be turned off if the player wants to do so. So why add procedure-generated characters to the game? Like I said, the game can have a lonely feeling to it. Some might not like this, and might prefer to have characters in the game that you could randomly see fly past in space, walking around on a space station, or maybe populate the Nexus. The Nexus is a huge space station, and this is what it looks like in single-player mode, offline. The word is empty. So why not use that procedure generation to make this universe a more populated one? Of course, this is not as good as multiplayer, and I don't think it's there to replace it in any way. But I do think this might help. Imagine you are running around on a planet and you see another traveler mining resources, only the basic ones on the surface and not any sort of terraforming. Or seeing an exocraft pass by all of a sudden. I think this would definitely add a layer of surprise, which the game overall needs more of. So how would this actually work? I think Hello Games could use the procedural generation to put together characters that are not Gek, Viking, or Corvex, similar to the Traveler characters already in the game. They could cycle customization parts to create characters that would look like player-generated ones. If not, maybe use the already in-game Traveler characters to perform simple tasks like mining on planets. They could even create this on a solar system to solar system basis. Every system could generate 5 or so characters per planet that would go around their daily routines. In my mind, these characters would still be rare-ish to see, just to keep them interesting. If this would ever be implemented into the game, I think there'd be 3 areas that the characters should be limited to: space, planet, and the Nexus. In space, I think the characters should be limited to mining asteroids and flying around from a planet surface to a space station. On a planet, they would be limited to mining basic resources on the planet's surface, generally walking/running around, passing by in an exocraft and maybe stopping if they see you, or you can go and stop them and interact, and at trading terminals or other bigger building types. And the last area, of course, would be the Nexus. I can see these characters by the Nexus computer, for example, waiting for the player to interact and go on missions together, walking, sitting, and running around a place, giving it a little bit more life. Leaving or arriving through the portal, and also leaving or arriving with their spaceship. I think these characters, with these sort of limitations, at least at the beginning, would be really interesting. But why add this to the game? I think it would be a good place to start and see if we could help the gameplay overall for people who want No Man's Sky to have a busier experience. Bearing in mind some people prefer single player and other people don't have the option for multiplayer. These characters could even have items from previous expeditions, including the customizables. which they could even sell to the player. I know, I've spoken about this before, but I really want those expedition rewards to be available to us on Nintendo Switch, and this would be a nice gameplay way of doing that. But I do think these characters having expedition rewards would still have to be quite rare. But it would be a good reason to seek out these characters, or just run straight towards one when you see one, because that's what I would do. You know another thing that I'd love to see with characters like this? Imagine if you could team up and go onto a derelict freighter together. That would be awesome. Lastly, I hope this idea overall makes sense. I could talk about this for absolute ages, but I don't want to make this video massive. So maybe I'll save that for another day. The Nintendo Switch version of No Man's Sky is really interesting to me. I think Hello Games could take what a lot of people say is its biggest flaw on this system in not having online and make it quite a big strength. If something like randomly, procedurally generated AI characters could be implemented into the game, I wonder if this would help in the overall offline experience on all platforms. But unfortunately, that's going to have to do it for today's episode. Thank you very much again for watching. If you like what I do here, please click that like button down below. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you want to see more, please click that subscribe button, as that is the only way this channel can grow. Now, I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. And until then, thanks again.